Hi friends. So now we will see a new topic, that is competitive dynamics. So friends, as we know, the basic definition of marketing is identifying and fulfilling human as well as social needs profitably. So when we are talking about profit, right? So everyone is interested in profit. Everyone wants to earn profit, and as we know, the basic concept of finance is what? Wealth maximization. Firms, they're working for wealth maximization. So how we can get wealth? So when we are operating in market and when we are talking about profit, so everyone wants to earn more and more profit. So how one can earn more and more profit? Through identifying and fulfilling the needs of maximum customers. So here we know the role of competitors are there. It's not like that we are operating our company in monopoly situation where we are only one player who can satisfy the need. Here multiple number of players or competitors are there who are operating in the same environment, who are operating in the same market, and who have identified the same human and social needs, and they want to satisfy that need profitably. So from here the competition arises. So that's why it is very crucial to understand the competition and the competitors to be successful or to have good market share in market condition. So we will see about competitive dynamics. So we must have studied Porter 5 force model. So there are different five forces which are there in Porter 5 force model. But do you know why Porter's 5 force model is used? The main concept of Porter 5 force model is to know or to identify the attractiveness of any segment. Suppose we want to enter in a new market, or suppose we want to develop a new product, or we want to go in another market or another market segment. So we will try to analyze whether that market is attractive, or if we will start our activities in that market we will be successful, or whether that market is feasible or not. So which are the five forces of Porter? So first force, as we know, we are talking about competitors. So industry competitors or rivalry, they are the first force. So there are two possible condition. Condition one is there is there are no competitors in market as such, and another possible option is there are number of competitors are there in market. So if we talk about the first option, there are no competitors in the market, do you think that is a good option for you? Here also two options are there. If no one is there in the market or no competitor is there in the market, so there is a huge scope for you to gain the maximum market share. You can be the pioneer in the market, or you can be the first entrant in the market, and you will definitely enjoy the first entrant advantages. Another possibility is also there, that if no one is there, there is no need for that kind of product, so you will be in trouble also if you enter in that market. So this is one possible option. Another option is there are multiple of competitors are there. So if the competitors are more, so it will be a kind of problematic situation for you. If you are a small firm and you don't have enough capital, or you don't have enough fund so that you can sustain in that competitive market. And it is also possible that the market is so good that everyone wants to enter in that specific market segment, or in that specific market. So you may be successful also in the market if your product and your strategies are good in the market. So this is regarding the first force, that is industry competitors or rivalry. Second is potential entrants, or how the new entrants they are allowed to enter in the market. If more and more new firms they are entering in the market, right? So then that will create problem for the firm like we, who want to also enter in the market. And there may be chance also that if new entrants are coming, means that is a possibility in that market. Then another force is threat of substitute, number of substitute product available for that specific product. If more and more substitute are there for some specific product, so it will create problematic condition in future, that people may switch to substitute product if they do not find the existing product good, or if the taste may change. So we will try to go in the market where substitutes are less. Then another is bargaining power of buyers. So if the buyers are very few, one or two or three buyers are there, and there are many suppliers, so buyer will enjoy the monopoly, right? So buyer will have more bargaining power, and the supplier need to give at specific prices, or the power will be in the hand of buyers. So we will try to go in the market where buyers bargaining power is limited. Then as a company or as a producer or as a manufacturer, there are bargaining power of suppliers also. We want raw material, or we want many things to produce a product or service also. So if the raw material suppliers are only few, one or two suppliers are there only, and another possible option, there are many suppliers. So where few suppliers are there, bargaining power of that specific supplier is so high, so they will give the product or raw material at their prices, right? They will not think about the processor, the manufacturer. But if more and more producers are there, right, so the bargaining power will be less with the supplier. So this is how we will try to analyze that where we want to enter in the market, so that is attractive for us or not. So in nutshell we can see that if the competition is good, or the new entrants are few, or buyers bargaining power and supplier bargaining power is limited, and threat of substitute is very less, so we will go in that specific market. Then we are talking about barriers and profitability. So as we know, for new entrants there are entry barriers and exit barriers. So which kind of condition is based for specific market, that will decide the attractiveness of the market. So one possible option is that the entry barriers are too high. Here entry barriers are too high, so only good firms or firms with good capabilities they will enter, right? So that is good. Another is exit barriers are low. So if firms have entered in that market and they find that we are not profitable, or we are not operating good in that specific market, we can leave that market. So this condition is good. Then another option is entry barriers are low. So if the entry barriers are low, so anyone can enter in that market, a good competitor, a bad competitor, or a competitors with good capability or bad capability, everyone will enter in that market. And here the exit barrier is also low. So ultimately what will happen, that everyone will enter, right? And after some few time, or after facing the competition, many will leave the market. So here we will get a return, low return but stable return. Why? Because new entrants, those are not profitable, they will leave the market. While in the first case we will get high return, because the firms entering they are very good in capabilities, right? and return will be stable also, because the non-profitable firms, they will leave the market. Then another possible option, that entry barriers are high and exit barrier, they're also high. So here the firms will be in trouble. Why? Because only few firms they have entered, right? And they will get high return will be high. But if they feel that we are not profitable or we want to leave this market, so the exit barriers are so high, so that will create problem for that kind of firm. And the last one is entry barriers, they are low, so everyone will try to enter in that market. But the exit barrier are very high, so they cannot leave the specific market. So such kind of market that will give low return as well as risky return. So out of this four condition, the high entry barrier and low exit barrier, they are the most suitable condition for any firm to enter in that specific market. Then there are few terms like industry, competitors. So industry is what? Suppose we are talking about mobile industry, automobile industry, fertilizer industry, seed industry. So what is the meaning of the industry? So industry, it is a group of firms, so different group of firms that offer a product or class of products. Suppose I have talked about fertilizer, so that are close substitute for one another. So different fertilizer producers company, right? So product is fertilizer and different companies, they are producing fertilizer, so it will make what? Industry. And marketer, they can classify industries according to number of seller, degree of differentiation, entry, mobility, exit barriers, cost structure, degree of vertical integration, degree of globalization. So based on these factors, they can classify industry also. Then competitors. So who are competitors? Like companies that satisfy the same customer need. So if you're talking about mobile market, right? So in mobile market also, number of players are there, right? So do you think that every player is a competitor of each and every other player? No, there are competitors who are focusing on premium customers only, like iPhone. Some of the mobile manufacturers, they are providing the basic models of mobiles, or who are targeting the price sensitive customers only, right? So different players have different competitors. So competitors are who? Companies that satisfy the same customer need. Even when we are talking about competitors, so there are more number of competitors, right? So it will be kind of cutthroat competition. So it gives red ocean thinking and blue ocean thinking, means they will try to get the new and new opportunity. Where the competition is low, they will try to develop new market, they will try to develop new product where the competition will low. So it creates blue ocean thinking. Even competitors like PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Dell and Lenovo, right? Then TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Satyam Computers in IT industry. So this is how industry and competitors can be defined. Then analyzing competitors. So in competitors also, many competitors, they are following the same kind of strategy in given market. So these kind of firms who are following the same strategy, they are called as strategic group. Now when we are analyzing competitors, we are talking about competitors, we will try to know about competitor, we will try to analyze their product, we will try to analyze their strategies. So why we are analyzing competitors? What are the objectives? One objective may be we want to increase the profit. Yeah, that is true. Then another option is we want to increase our market share, and another possible option, we want to increase our market share as well as profit also. So there are different objectives why we are going for competitors analysis, but competitor analysis is one of the crucial element in marketing. So there are three different terms: share of market, share of mind, and share of heart. So the company which is having highest market share, like in mobile network industry, suppose Airtel is having highest market share, So that is there. Then share of mind. So when we talk about the name, the first company that comes to your mind. So when we are talking about 4G, so which company comes to your mind? Definitely Jio. So that is what share of mind. Then share of heart, that name the company from which you would prefer to buy. Suppose I'll ask you that from which company you will buy mobile SIM card or 4G SIM card. So you may answer like Jio or Airtel, right? So these are definition of share of market, share of mind, and share of heart. Now, what kind of competitor we should select, or when we are entering a new market, right? And we are thinking about competition. So, what kind of competition we should take positively, or which kind of competitor we should select? One is strong and weak. So mainly companies will select the weak competitors, as we know that they are having very limited capabilities and we can win the market share in such conditions. Then close and distant. So companies, they will compete with the rivals or competitors that resembles them the most, who are more similar, right? So we'll try to uh, enter in that specific market. Then the competitors, they're good or bad. So good competitors, they are more ethical, they are good in nature, or they follow industry rules, they make realistic assumptions, they set reasonable prices, and they favor healthy industry as well as healthy competition. So we will try to focus on competitors who are good in ethical manner. Then when we are selecting customers also, right? Different companies have their customers. Some customers are loyal, some customers are hardcore loyal, some switchers, right? So different categories of customers are there with the companies. So based on their value and vulnerability. So there are four possible options. That first is customers, they are valuable and vulnerable. Customers, they are profitable or valuable to the company, but they can leave the company or they will stop using the company's product anytime, right? So what we will do, so we will try to address the sources of vulnerability. Okay, why these kind of customers, though they are valuable to us or though they are valuable to company, why they want to leave our company? So we will try to analyze the possible options or problems, and we will try to solve this kind of problem, and we will try to retain them. Another option is customers, they are valuable and non-vulnerable, that they are profitable or valuable to the company, and they will not going, or they will not go anywhere, they will not leave our company, or they will not stop using our product. So that is good, that is positive for a company. But do you think that company should take it granted? No, company should not take it as granted. They should make them happy, they should make them satisfied, they should provide them good facilities, they could provide them good products, and try to retain them, try to get maximum benefits from that kind of hardcore loyal customers. Then another possible option is the customers are not valuable and they are vulnerable, they are not profitable, they are not valuable to the company, and they can leave at any time. So what we will do, we will let them go, or even many a time we are encouraging them to go, or we are encouraging their departure also. Another possible option is they are not valuable but non vulnerable also. They are not giving much business to our company, but they are only using our product, or they are only attached with us. So what we should do, these are unprofitable but they are happy. So what we will do, we will try to make them valuable, we will try to increase their consumption, we will try to increase the more and more occasions on which they can use our product. And another possible option, that we can make them vulnerable also. If we are having enough number of customers, we could make such kind of customers who are not valuable, and they can leave your company also. So these are different four possible options for selection of customers. So when we are talking about competition, market share, so there are four possible options of hypothetical market structure. So there are market leader. Few firms, they are having maximum share, around 40% market share are with market leader. They are leading the market, or they are having the maximum market share. So what kind of strategies they will follow? They will try to expand their market. They will try to enter new and new markets, or they will try to expand the market. Second, whatever market share they have, they will try to defend their market share. Then whatever market share they have, they want to expand their market share. So this is regarding market leader. Another possible option is market challenger. So they are challenging the leaders. So they are around 30% who are challenging the leaders. So what kind of strategies they will follow? Definitely they will attack the leader. They will try to get maximum share. They will try to attack the leader. Then they will attack small size or new entrant or same size firms also to retain their market share. Then market follower, they are following market leader and market challenger, so they are market follower, and their main strategy is what? Imitating or following. And lastly, there are market nicher. 10% of market is in the hand of market nicher, so they are specialized in specific market, or they are specialized in specific product. So what they will try to do, they will try to specialize in not specific market or their specific product. So this is hypothetical market structure of market, that market leader, market challenger, market follower, market researcher, they are in 40%, 30%, 20% and 10% of market is in hand with the market leader, challenger, follower and nicher. We will try to understand what kind of strategies each will follow. So first of all, market leader strategies. So as we know, everyone as per their condition or as per their market share, they are having different strategy. It is not that everyone will follow the same strategy. The strategies will be different for market leader. So market leader, what kind of strategies they will follow? Like they will expand the market, they will defend their existing market share, and they will expand the market share also. So first is expanding the total market. So how we can expand our total market? Whatever market we have, so how we can expand? So we can convert the non-user to user, right? We can attract them, or we are we can give them samples, or we can organize different kind of marketing activities to convert non-user to user also. Like for shampoo products, when shampoos were not used, or they were coming in bottle, right, in bigger packaging, so companies like Cheek, they introduced smaller size packaging, and they have converted many non-user of shampoo to users. So there are few possible options. Like suppose company is operating in current market and they are having current product, and they will use the marketing strategy to penetrate in market. So the strategies will be market penetration strategy. Then the market is current, but they will develop a new product for that market, so that will be product development strategy. This is also possible. Then they will try to know the new market with current product, so this strategy will be known as market development strategy. And that is possible option that they will develop a new product for totally new market, so that will be diversification strategy. So this is also possible to expand total market. Then we can find new uses on occasions. Example is Cadbury chocolates. So as we know, we have seen many advertisement and promotional campaigns of Cadbury. So when festival season is there, Cadbury, they are positioning their product that can be used in festivals. If birthdays are there, Cadbury, they are positioning themselves that Cadbury chocolates, they can be used on birthday. If you are doing a new work, or you are doing something good, so at that time also their product can be used. Even you must have seen some of the promotion in which खाने के बाद मीठे में क्या है, so we can consume as dessert also. So this is how they are evolving, or they are involving the customers with their product, that their product can be used at any time, right? So even you are in a relationship also, right, and you can use this product also. Then more usage on each occasion. So there is the option of cakes. So cakes, they can be used, a single cake can be used, but nowadays we are purchasing two cakes mainly, right? One is for enjoyment purpose and another is for consumption purpose, right? Even some examples like larger packaging, like Vimal, that was coming in 1 rupees packet size. Then they have introduced larger packet size like 5 rupees package, 10 rupees package, 20 rupees packet. So this is how you can increase your usage. Then you can avail your product. Suppose you are in impulse goods, so more availability of impulse goods, or you will give them more and more new uses of your product, like new opportunity and ways to use your product. You must have seen the promotion of ketchup. So ketchup then can be used with your chapati also. You can give chapati rolled with kisan ketchup. You can consume it with biscuits. You can consume it with snacks. So there are different ways to use your product. Even what is the replacement rate? There are many products coming in market, right? Use and throw product. Or when we are talking about Gillette razor, so on Gillette razor there is a blue color strip. So as we are using frequently this Gillette razor, the color of the film, it will lower, right? So after few uses we will understand that we need to replace our blade. So replacement rate is also there. And even we can develop new and new products like chewing gum also. So this is how we can expand our market. We can get new customer, we can increase the new uses on occasions, and we can increase more and more usage on each occasion also. So this is regarding market leader strategy to expand the total market. We will see the other strategy of market leader in our next session. Thank you very much.